very warm welcome to you out there. This is African Free Press Television. We're broadcasting from the nation's capital, Abuja. My name is Leo Oketa, and these are the stories we're tracking for you at this moment. First, the headlines. Court grants Metu bail. A Lassa fever patient absconds in Edo State. Nigeria and United Arab Emirates sign 6 bilateral agreements. Olubado of Ibadan dies at the age of 101. And 3 killed in Burundian attack. EU replies Biafra. While in sports, West Ham targets Emmanuel Emenike. The news in details. A federal high court in Abuja yesterday granted bail to the spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Olisa Metu, on the condition that he pays 400 million naira as bond. Mr. Metu is to also submit his international passport and must provide 2 sureties with 200 million naira each. The sureties must have properties in Maitama district of Abuja. The PDP spokesperson was taken to court on Tuesday in handcuffs. He is accused of receiving 400 million naira from an arms money diverted by the Office of the National Security Advisor. Mr. Metu has been in the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) for about 2 weeks now. And a patient suspected to have contracted Lassa fever absconded from Irua Specialist Teaching Hospital in Edo State yesterday. The unnamed patient was said to have been referred to the hospital from Ebonyi State. This was disclosed yesterday by the Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, the minister who was briefed on the developments during a meeting with stakeholders on the disease, directed the Emergency Operations Center (EOC) coordinator to fish out the suspected patient by all means and return him to the diagnostic center. To combat the disease, the minister launched the National Lassa Fever Action Committee headed by Professor Oyewole Tomori. And Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates have signed agreements of recovery and repatriation of their country's stolen wealth. In a statement released by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, the agreement was part of the 6 signed in Abu Dhabi yesterday by both countries to enhance bilateral relations between them. The agreements were on trade, finance and judicial matters, avoidance of double taxation agreements, trade promotion and protection, judicial agreements and extradition, transfer of sentenced persons, mutual legal assistance on criminal matters, and mutual legal assistance on criminal and commercial matters, which equally includes the recovery of repatriation of stolen wealth. At the reception of the signing, President Buhari reiterated his commitments to fighting corruption and restoring Nigeria's dignity in the Committee of Nations. And sadly, the Olubado of Ibadan, Oba Samuel Odunlana, died last night at the age of 101. According to a palace source, the late Oba, who was the 40th Olubado, ascended the throne on August 17, 2007 at the age of 93. He died less than 3 months to his 102nd birthday. In line with tradition, the current Balogo of Ibadan, Chief Saliu Adetunji, is expected to ascend the throne, the source volunteered. Oba Odunlana was born April 14, 1914 in Igbo, Elerin, Ibadan in present-day Oyo State. He started his education at St. Andrew's School, Bamigbola, Ibadan in January 1922. He later enrolled in St. Peter's School, Aremo, in 1929 and completed his middle school education at Mapo Central School in 1936. And now to the foreign scene. Police said 3 people were killed in a grenade attack at a bar in the Burundian capital, Bujumbura, late on Monday, as the impoverished nation faces the prospect of a return to civil war. Burundi sank into crisis last year after President Pierre Nkurunziza ran for a 3rd term of office, which he secured in a disputed vote. UN officials say the crisis has brought the nation to the brink of a new civil war after it emerged from a 12-year ethnic-fueled conflict just a decade ago. Pierre Nkurunziza, the police spokesman, said a senior police officer, a lawyer and a civil servant were killed in the attack that took place in the Buiza neighborhood. Witnesses said the attackers used a motorbike to get to the scene and to flee after the explosion. police arrested several youths in the area after the attack on the bar that is popular with Nkurunziza's supporters, the witnesses added. And still on the foreign scene, Federica Mogherini, European Union High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security, has replied Biafra agitators and the Organization of Emerging African States over their call for a referendum. The OEAS had earlier requested that the European Union High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security utilizes their good office to help bring about a referendum for Biafra's independence. The OEAS also called for release of all Biafran political prisoners, a stand down of Nigerian forces, and a snap referendum to be held within 90 days. In response to their request, Mogherini replied to Dr. Jonathan Levy, OEAS Chief Administrative Officer, stressing that the European Union's official position is that while it has strong diplomatic and economic ties with Nigeria, protection of human rights and fundamental freedom remains a priority for the EU, and that they are going to encourage the authorities in Nigeria in every occasion to respect such rights. The EU went on to advise the OEAS and Biafrans that self-determination and border changes must be in accordance with established international law. The OEAS has called for an internationally recognized referendum on Biafra independence or autonomy. The EU has indicated it will only recognize a Biafra born via international law and not secession. And now in sports, English Premier League side West Ham United are targeting a January transfer move for former Nigerian international Emmanuel Emenike as they continue to step up their chase for a new striker. The agent of Emenike was in London earlier this week as the 28-year-old remains in the frame to still move to the East London outfit. Emenike, who has previously played in Europe, in Russia and Turkey, has been on loan at Al Ain in Abu Dhabi from Fenerbahce, but the deal is being cut short so he can seal a move to the Premier League. And these are the stories we're tracking for you this morning, coming from African Free Press. But before we shut down the curtain, let us remind you quickly of what the headlines are. Court grants Metu bail. A Lassa fever patient absconds in Edo State. Nigeria and United Arab Emirates signed 6 bilateral agreements. The Lubado of Ibado dies at the age of 101. 3 killed in Burundian attack. EU replies Biafra. In sports, we brought you the news that West Ham United are targeting former Nigerian international Emmanuel Emenike. For more stories, please do log on to our website at www.africanfreepress.com. Follow us on Twitter at African Free Press. Like our Facebook page at African Free Press. Do join us in our discussions on various interesting topics at African Free Press Forum and subscribe to our YouTube channel at African Free Press. From me, Leia Oketa, and the whole team in the studio this morning, this is the news as edited by Chiari Kobitasi. Do have a lovely day.